Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Dano and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. Guys, it has begun. It has begun. People are making runs to the grocery stores. So a lot of you guys have been commenting on this over the last few days. People had mentioned Sam's Club, Walmart, Aldi, even Kroger, and some Kroger-owned stores. I know some of our viewers have been mentioning Harris Teeter, Dillon's, Mariano's, all these owned by Kroger. And the big one is, of course, toilet paper. Toilet paper, I don't understand. I do understand, but we're going to get into that here in just a minute. Today I went to Sam's Club. Yeah, it doesn't look good. And the place was crazy packed. And yes, it is the first of the month. Actually, it is the third of the month, October 3rd, 2024. People are aware. People know about the port strikes, no matter what it is. You know, this toilet paper that doesn't come in from the ports, right? They don't come in from the ships, at least as far as I know. A lot of people have said that the toilet paper doesn't come in from ships and stuff. I don't understand the complete run on toilet paper, but I was at Sam's Club today, and I will spoil a little bit from my video tomorrow coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which I recommend everybody check out. Even if you don't shop at Sam's Club, it is kind of eye-opening that they were completely out of toilet paper and paper towels. Now, in the video, I said Members Mark, but later on, I went back and I didn't see any Cottonelle or Quilted Northern or the more expensive ones either. So I don't know what's going to happen. And there were a lot of things where there was like one item. One thing I did notice is a lot of people making runs on frozen items. The store was as packed as I've ever seen it before. Now, mind you, it is the first of the month. A lot of people getting their paychecks, different things like that. But for a Thursday early, I was not shocked. A lot of this doesn't really shock me anymore, but we knew that there were going to be runs on the stores. I've tried to put the notice out there. Don't panic buy. Hopefully everybody that's been on the channel here for a while, you know, we try to go over these things so that people don't panic buy. You know, if you slowly, I like to call it the slow burn, the slow shopping, the smart shopping, buying up sales as you see them, you know, to make sure that you have a little bit set aside so that you're not racing to the grocery store when an event like this happens. Now, as to where I never encourage panic buying, I understand why. And there's a lot of people who don't do anything until the very last minute. But let's think for a minute some of the other things that you may not be thinking of. Because I think that normally when we think of people panic buying, you think of your neighbor going and buying a bunch of toilet paper and filling up their basement with it. Okay, now I noticed a couple people that were talking about, there were a couple of you that were at Sam's Club today who watched the channel. I go into that a little bit more in tomorrow's video. But a couple people were talking to me and saying, you know, you can't believe how, you know, people just come in and they actually allow you to buy all this toilet paper. Well, I started discussing with them and I was like, you know, I need to talk about this a little bit in tonight's video. We don't know what all people's situations are. Okay. Some people may not be able to get to the store. A son or a daughter or family member or something may be buying for them as well. Now, with Sam's Club, for there to be such a huge run on this, you know, I don't know. It was pretty crazy seeing no toilet paper, no paper towels. I was like, wow, it is 4 years all over again. But, you know, let's not forget that there are companies that buy their toilet paper and stuff like that from Sam's Club as well. Like nursing homes or places that, you know, that they have to have a decent stockpile of toilet paper and they want to make sure they're able to get it. Again, don't encourage panic buying, but I do get it. I do understand. And with that, I will say this. Might be a good time to go to the grocery store and buy up some of the things you need. To see Sam's Club get hit like that, I can only imagine what some stores are looking like right now. We've had a few comments from you guys about Walmart. One of the ladies who I was talking to today had mentioned one of the Walmarts that I frequent and how they are out of a lot of stuff. I'm going to be checking some of this stuff out as we go along because we need to make sure we're able to find products, but we also need to make sure that we're looking at things. Again, I almost hate to kind of mention them because I don't want people to watch this and then run out to the store and buy it up. This issue hopefully gets solved. Okay, this is for the strike too. It's not because of the storms. There are plenty. I'll talk about that here in a second too. There are a lot of things being delivered to those in need. From our video yesterday, as we talked to where the help is, well, the American people are helping. They are showing up. People's neighbors. People are standing up for their family and neighbors, and that is what we do. We can't rely on anybody else. We can't rely on government or any of that stuff, obviously. Although, this is not government by any means, but, you know, with Elon Musk and everything, who has been providing the Starlink. And thank you to all of our viewers who had mentioned that. And they're supplying them with being able to get internet. Apparently it's free Wi-Fi, like there's no password or codes or anything like that, making sure that they're able to use these things to find people, because this is imperative. And because we have this technology, thank God we do, and that these are being put in place. Now, I may go into more of that later on, maybe tomorrow night or something. I don't know. I haven't done a huge amount of research just from what we were following up from last night. But I will say, from what I saw today, guys, yeah, it may be a good idea. If you have... Sam's Club is going to get hit hard. It's going to get hit hard by customers, guys. I'm just telling you right now. I did buy the last thing of Del Monte canned vegetables, the corn. I bought the last thing of it. Hopefully they get more in. But, yeah, I was like, this is going to help me in a lot of different soups. I'm the kind of person, too, that if I have extra, I will give it to you. If my neighbor comes up and says, I wasn't able to find any corn, well, here you go. You can have one for free, right? I mean, it's like, we have some meals coming up that we are going to use corn with. But anyway, I didn't feel bad at that because usually I always leave the last one. And I wasn't able to get my extra thing of toilet paper today, even though we have a good amount. We have a good amount. I've got one sitting right over here. And, you know, we'll just have to do like we did a few years ago and then, you know, buy up. I say buy up the sales, guys, but at this point it's like, I don't know. If you see it and you need it, get it. I mean, you know, it's like, I don't, like I said, I always say, no, you know, I never encourage panic buying. I don't, you know, there's a difference between an excessive amount, letting your neighbor run dry, right? And you know, you yourself, I mean, it's hard to really even say, guys. I don't judge anybody, though. I don't judge anybody. I saw carts today, people with a lot of the same products, with a lot, and I'm thinking, what the heck are you going to do with that much dehydrated potatoes? It looked like they had a pallet full of them. I don't know. Maybe you have mashed potatoes on the menu every night. I don't judge. I don't judge. I don't care. Buy whatever you want. That's what it's there for. You pay for a membership to Sam's Club so that you can buy in bulk, and you shouldn't have to worry about them not having the product. However, you can do that at Kroger or anywhere else you want to. I always say, the buy 5 or more, save $1 each deal, it is no limits. You can buy as much as they want, much as you want. There's no limits. Right? They have a surplus amount. Buy whatever you want. Those are the times to buy and save money at the same time. The buy 5 or more, save $1 each deal is going on at Kroger. I have seen a lot of products at Kroger that we get lots of comments on. Time to take advantage of that while it's available, before the real thing happens with this strike and we start seeing prices go through the roof again. Now, people could be thinking that too. I don't know. Like I said, I don't judge. We shouldn't judge people, right? And, you know, I remember if you've been on the channel for a while, a few years ago, I remember somebody had a whole cart full of toilet paper, and this lady goes by and says to this other lady, that's why we ain't got no toilet paper. I'm like, whoa, you don't know this person's situation. She could be buying for her family. She could be buying for her mom or some seniors or whoever. Who cares? They're buying for your son or daughter. Even if you're just buying it for yourself. There's nothing that says that, you know. It's just, you know, this stuff, it's like, and there were people talking at Sam's Club. Everybody was talking about the port strike. So it has gotten out there. Everybody knows about it. And people are freaking out. People are freaking out, and they're going to the stores and they're panic buying. And I don't know. I guess I'm just blessed and fortunate enough that we have shopped the way we have over the last years. Even as long as me and Jess have been together, we've always bought the sales. I never looked at this as prepping. I never looked at this as hoarding. I never looked at it as anything other than smart buying. Saving money here so I'm not spending it in the future. And when you do that and you do the math, and I understand a lot of people probably don't do math to the Excel that I do. I go overboard maybe sometimes. But when I look at the numbers, well, I'm saving money. And I try to explain that in these videos, and whether people want to take that advice or not, that's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to go and, you know, save $1 here and $1 there. Do whatever you want. I put these videos out here to show what we do and how we save money and how we've been saving money for years. To not overspend, but at the same time, this way, when you do come into a situation where you have to overspend on something, well, you've saved on a lot of other things over the last couple years. And, you know, I don't really know how to explain any of this extra stuff, guys. I never expected what happened 4 years ago to happen. I never expected one of the largest shipping ports, 36 shipping ports on the East Coast and Texas to shut down. You know, you never expect these things. But this is why we prepare a little bit ahead of time. This is why these are events that okay, well, if this goes on for a long time, at least we have enough to get by for the next few months. Now, some people on the channel are going to argue, oh, no, you need enough for years. Well, you know, if that's the way you do it, cool. Again, no judgment here. But knowing that I've got enough to get by for the next few months, probably beyond if we ration things out. Way beyond probably if we ration things out. But it's like we don't feel the pressure. I don't feel the pressure to have to go to the grocery store. Jess doesn't have to feel the pressure. As a matter of fact, when we were talking about this earlier, as it did bring shock to Jess, I showed her the clip that I showed at Sam's Club where there is nothing. No toilet paper, no paper towels. There's food. Some a lot less. And I didn't even think when I was going into the store, a lot of meat was less, but they could be filling that in too. So we just don't know. A lot of people are buying stuff. They're able to fill the meat back up, hopefully. I actually said in the video before it really kind of came to me, because I always try to go in to a store not thinking anything else other than going into the store and doing shopping and trying to go over things that people are looking for, checking out prices, different things like this. I always make sure that I go in there with the attitude or the site, okay, well, anything can happen, right? I may see something that shocks me. The shock factor is for the video, right? I didn't know that I was going to go into our Sam's Club and find no toilet paper. I had a little bit of an idea in the back of my head because we've had a lot of viewers that have commented that you've been to Sam's Club and you haven't found any toilet paper. So I don't know what to think about it other than get ready, because the price is probably going to go up again. It'll come back in and it'll be the same price, and that is the time to buy, because as we saw last time, that's what happened. We saw that the price went up about a month after it started coming back in at Sam's Club. As a matter of fact, Sam's Club was one of the last ones. This is what was a little surprising, because when the toilet paper scare happened a couple years ago, Sam's Club was still getting it in. Sam's Club was still getting it when places like Kroger and Meijer and all these other places weren't getting any toilet paper. None. And then all of a sudden, it was like Kroger was starting to get a little bit in, as I remember. And then Sam's Club was disappearing. So they must have had like a couple warehouses full of this or something, right? Or maybe several warehouses full of different paper products. Maybe took longer for them to transport it. And then by the time that was out, they had to play catch up. Because, yeah, there's always massive amounts of toilet paper. It's shocking, right? It's shocking when you first go in there. And a couple of you guys out there, and thank you for stopping by and saying hello. But one of our viewers, she was talking to another lady, and she was saying that, talking about the port strike and everything. And then the other lady, and Jessica mentioned this too, that that toilet paper doesn't come in off the ships. But I don't think people care, guys. People just... They hear that there's going to be shortages, and now it's on national media. That's what it is. You know, people say, you know, YouTubers and stuff like that. There may be some YouTubers out here that are like, oh no, go to the store. I'm not like that, right? I'm not going to be like, oh, go and just buy everything. I think that's kind of silly. Now that's my opinion, and that's me. Okay, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you, just because we don't encourage panic buying, I get it. People freak out, right? They think the world's coming to an end. Hopefully not. But, I get it. I do get it. And like I said, no judgment. No judgment. I don't judge nobody, guys. I think when you do something like what I do on here, you can't judge people. If you judge people, it's going to be a very hard life for you. You have to be accepting, and you have to accept people for who they are and understand that everybody's situation is different. You have to understand that, and especially if you do it exactly like how I do it, which I've seen some YouTubers out there kind of doing the Dano approach. I like that. I do. Because it's ultimately, you're ultimately going to save money, when you're in the long run, and when you're buying, kind of got off track there. When you're buying things, at the grocery store, and you're thinking ahead, right? You're thinking ahead. Like my aunt, and I think this kind of wore off on Jess too. They buy these little Christmas presents like all year long, right? They find something that is a great price, but not only a great price, but you think of that person that you love, right? And it's like, wow, that is something amazing. I'll never see this again. I'll never find it again. Great price. And then they buy it, and they're like Christmas shopping throughout the whole year. Well, that's smart buying. Because if you buy this stuff at the time when it's at its worst point, right? If you wait until December 1st, not only is that stuff going to be sky high in price, but you're probably not going to find a lot of this stuff. I was just talking to my aunt, and she was talking about, different Halloween things that she decorates a lot for her home, and you guys know Jess does. It's like, and I mentioned this in videos. When you see this Halloween stuff come out in August, well, if you like it, you better buy it, because if you don't, it's gone. If you wait till October, it will be gone. And that is why we talk about these things so early. It's like, I've been seeing all this Christmas stuff come out, and it's like, I kind of want to do videos on that, because a lot of these things, they're going to be gone. All this stuff at Costco, all the Christmas stuff at Costco, Sam's Club, all these different places that you visit, Home Depot, Lowe's, a lot of this stuff is going to be gone. It's sad. It is that you have to, if you want these things, you have to get them early. You're going to ultimately save money on that, though, and that's kind of my point, is that if you buy this stuff early, if you do the slow burn like we always talk about, and that way when we come to this situation, you're prepared. You're ready. You're not freaking out worrying that if you're going to have to get some of this stuff. Now, some things, for medicines, prescriptions, stuff like that, which I don't think we need to worry about as much as some of these other things. We'll continue to update as we go along here, because I do believe this situation is going to get worse. It's going to get worse before it gets better. We're going to be pointing things out, and also let us know down in the comments maybe some of the things that you are not finding in the stores, to let everybody on the channel know things that are disappearing and not coming back in. We dealt with this issue for well over a year and a half after what happened 4 years ago. So, guys, just from my look of things and from what we have heard from a lot of different people, it looks like the panic buying has started. And, you know, I'm not going to say don't be that person, but I'm not going to say be that person either. You do you. And hopefully, you know, we get through this quickly. We said every day that this strike goes on was going to get, the economy is going to get worse and worse and worse, and we're going to have to make up for that every day that this goes on. This doesn't just affect them. This affects us as well. It affects everyone. And we just need to make sure that we're paying attention. And, you know, just make sure that you get the things that you want. Try, you know, maybe not go crazy. But do whatever you want. This is America. Do whatever you want. And, you know, like I said, we don't encourage it, but we understand why. Guys, just wanted to throw this video out here for you guys to let you know that I've heard your voices. I've heard the comments. I've seen it myself. Sam's Club seems to be out of toilet paper and paper towels in a lot of different Sam's Clubs across the country. There was a lady who was talking to me too, who didn't know me from the channel. She was just talking about, you know, she was just looking. I seen her eyes like, I can't believe it. I've never seen Sam's out of toilet paper. And her and her friend were talking about going to the one in Westchester, Tylersville, Ohio. And I'm like, don't, because you're going to spend all the money to go up there in gas, and you're going to find out it's gone. I said, call them first. And she was like, oh, that's a great idea. So I don't know if they had it. But yeah, it's like, it could be gone by the time you get up there, and then you just wasted a trip. Can you believe that? Somebody would drive 30 miles north and probably back. So probably 60 miles, maybe less than that. It's probably like 30 miles total. But you're going to be sitting in traffic, a lot of traffic, just to get toilet paper. I mean, that shows you how much you really do save at Sam's Club on it, though. And she might have been buying more. She might have been getting 2 or 3 of them. Again, we don't know people's situations. Don't judge. Some people probably go, you know, they get their check. They probably go to Sam's Club. They spend the money for the month. They probably buy, you know, more than what maybe some people buy. But you know what? That's how it works, right? I don't know about Costco. I haven't seen Costco yet. I'm sure it's pretty similar. Let us know down in the comments if you've been to Costco or any stores that you've seen where there's been runs on toilet paper or anything. Let us know, because we need to know these things so that we can get the information out to people. And another thing we want to be checking on too is over-the-counter medicines. Don't hoard medicines. Don't buy up a ton of ibuprofen and acetaminophen unless you are planning on, you know, handing it out to people if they need it or something. You know, I don't know, like, people are going to need this stuff. People need toilet paper too, I guess. But I mean, it's like, I don't know. I'll be honest, me personally, it's like, I don't understand the whole toilet paper thing. I really don't. Even everything we've said in this video, like nursing homes, stuff like that, it's like, oh my goodness, like, people are just worried they're not going to have toilet paper. I mean, you know, what are you going to eat? I was saying that back then. What are you going to eat, toilet paper? Joking aside, you guys do what you feel you need to do. Be mindful of everybody else while you're shopping. I guess that's just how I think. You know, I think I'm going to be mindful of my neighbors and make sure, you know, I don't take the last couple or something. I did take the last Del Monte. The last 8 cans of Del Monte. You know, I need my Del Monte corn in these dark times. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned. We're going to keep updates on all this stuff as we go along. Make sure you leave comments down below of things that you are seeing in the store so that we can try and keep up. Also, I haven't said this in a while, try and abbreviate your state so we know what state is happening where. This really helped years ago as we were putting a map together of where different things weren't showing up, where prices were starting to go up, and we were actually able to stay ahead of a lot of these different things. So make sure, if you can, abbreviate your city and state. Don't have to spell it all out, just abbreviate it so people know, you know, what you're seeing in your neighborhoods. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.